Once upon a time, there was a man named Lloyd, also known as the Son of Light. He fell in love with the Princess of Shadow, Caroline. The two of them worked together to stop both Lloyd's villainous fiancée and the Demon Lord, and together, they lived happily ever after. A girl suddenly closes a book and calls the entire story cliché. She says that the story is meant for little kids, so she's confused as to what the book is doing in their school library. Her friend suddenly comes over and calls her strange for borrowing a book with that kind of title, and that she might as well get some reference books to read if she's so free. The girl says that she'll return the book before heading to class, but her friend tells her that she's already late for class, and that if she keeps skipping, then she's going to fail the course. However, the girl reassures her friend, saying that she's a student athlete, so failing courses is pretty normal, and that she could never be compared to a top student like her friend. The ground suddenly begins to shake, worrying the two girls. A hole suddenly opens up beneath them, and they scream as they fall down the hole. The girl then opens her eyes to the sound of someone calling her miss and telling her to wake up. She jolts up asking where she is, and a maid tells her that she should get up, since her father has already called her for breakfast. However, the girl ignores this and runs over to a mirror, confused on why she looks like that. The girl asks the maid who she is, and the maid tells her that she's Miss Ida, which is what we're going to call her from now on, since they never bothered to give us her previous name. Ida then asks the maid where they are, and the maid tells her that they are in her home, the Mortimer estate. Ida realizes that she has transmigrated to another world, but she is excited at the fact that she became the young lady of the richest family in the entire country. Ida meets up with her father, who tells her that she received a letter of admission to Winfield Magic Academy. Ida finds the name Winfield to be familiar, and she realizes that it's the Magic Academy in the book she was reading earlier, and she realized that she's actually the villainess of the story. She suddenly screams in her head for her friend Xiaolon to come and save her. The scene then cuts to a couple of guys kicking a ragged girl in the rain, telling her to give them money. The girl asks the guys who they are, and tells them to stay away, as she unleashes a magic circle. The guys panic at the fact that she can use magic, and they run away. The girl is confused at what just happened. She looks at her reflection in the water, and found out that she turned into a child, revealing the girl to be Ida's friend Xiaolon. A man runs over to Xiaolon, calling her Kaye, and asking if she's hurt. We're also going to be calling her that from now on as to make things less confusing. The man asks Kaye if he recognizes her, and tells her that he's her dad, Jack. He brings her to their apartment, and Kaye observes that it's a complete mess, and that the owner looks dirt poor. Jack tells her that he was very worried when he heard that the debt collectors went after her, and he tells Kaye not to worry, since he'll work hard to pay off the debt next month. Kaye notices a photo nearby, and she sees Jack smiling with a woman in the photo, and she wonders if the woman is her mother. Kaye recounts how her father is out of work, his wife left him, he owes a ton of money, and he's also raising a daughter all by himself. She sulks at the type of origin story she was transmigrated into, and she wonders if her friend Xiaoyao has transmigrated with her. I'm just glad that we finally learned the other girl's name, but we're still gonna call her Ida. Jack brings Kaye some food, and tells her to lighten up since they now have a mage in their family. Jack then tells Kaye that her admission letter from Winfield Magical Academy has arrived. He then tells her that if she manages to take the top 3 spots in the entrance exam, then she can go to school for free. We then get some lore drop about the world, and that only 1 in 10,000 people in this world can use magic. Mages are considered to be the highest class in society, with numerous magical academies being created for the gifted children, and Winfield is the country's most well-known magical academy. Kaye never expected that she'd transmigrate into another world and become a magical girl. She gets excited at the amount of knowledge she can obtain from the magical academy, and she tells Jack that she'll work hard at school since she loves learning. We then switch back to Ida's perspective, where she is telling her dad that she doesn't know any magic, so how was she accepted into a magical academy? Her dad then reveals that he actually bought her admission with cash. Ida tells her dad what she's supposed to do at a magical academy if she can't even use any magic, and her dad tells her that her grandfather will be able to invent stuff that'll make her just like her classmates. Ida begins to panic, since the novel never mentioned that the villainess didn't know magic, and it actually regarded her as a top student. She figures that she'll just have to follow the novel's storyline for now, and perhaps she'll be able to return to her original world. Ida and one of her attendants head out to buy magical supplies for school. She is entranced by a crystal ball that reminds her a lot of anime. She reaches out to touch it, but someone else also reaches out to grab it. The person is revealed to be Kaye, as the two girls stare at each other. The shopkeeper tells the two girls that they have a great eye for things, and that the crystal ball is their new product, the Abyss 3066. She tells them that it's currently 20% off, and that it only costs 2,100 darlings. Kaye thinks to herself that it's too expensive for her, so she should probably just get her books and forget about everything else. Someone suddenly laughs at her for being broke, and tells her that she can't even buy a tenth of that crystal ball with the amount of money she has. Ida recognizes the girl as Jessica, the main lackey of the Villainess in the novel. Jessica offers to buy the Abyss 3066, but Ida interjects and says that she'll pay 3,000 darlings for the crystal ball. Jessica gets angry and was about to ask Ida if she knew who she was, but Ida doesn't let her finish and says that she's Ida Mortimer and asks Jessica if she had a problem with that. Jessica lightens up at this and introduces herself, telling Ida that the two of them will be great friends when they start school. Kaye thinks to herself that none of those rich people are good people and is about to leave. However, Ida grabs her hand and tells her to wait. She asks Kaye if she wants the crystal ball and offers to give it to her. Kaye sarcastically thanks Ida and tells her that she'll work hard on her own to get what she wants. She walks away saying that she doesn't need the charity of other people. Jessica tells Ida that she doesn't understand why their school accepts such low-class commoners, and that those type of people will drag down their social standing. Ida is mad how she was treated after trying to help Kaye, and calls her an arrogant brat. Both Ida and Kaye think to themselves of how annoying the other person is, both unaware of each other's true identities. We then flash forward to the Winfield Magical Academy. Ida's maid tells her that her father has arranged a luxurious room for her alone, since he was worried that she wouldn't be able to adjust to a dorm. Ida asks her maid where her school uniform is, since everyone else seems to be wearing theirs. Her maid tells her that new students will have to wait to be sorted first, before getting their uniforms. Ida asks what sort it is, and her maid tells her that the academy is split into two colleges, Light and Shadow. The sorting ceremony is what determines the college that new students are sorted into. Ida asks what would happen to her, since she doesn't know any magic. Her maid reassures her and tells her that her father has already arranged everything for her, and to just look for a switch on the bottom. Ida suddenly notices Kaye in the crowd talking with Jack. Jack hands Kaye a backpack that he made himself and tells Kaye to work hard at school. Ida feels bad for Kaye since everyone else is using handcarts to carry their luggage while she only has a small backpack. A mage suddenly tells everyone to place their luggage on the side hall and bid goodbye to their parents, since the ceremony is about to start. The mage is about to begin the sorting ceremony, but she first explains to everyone that the academy is divided into Light and Shadow, but despite those two seeming like their opposites, everyone would be treated equally despite the college they were assigned to. She tells everyone that when she calls someone's name, that person should come forward and touch the crystal ball. The crystal ball will emit different colors of light depending on someone's natural talents, and the stronger the light means the stronger the magic power. Those who emit a golden light will be sorted in the College of Light, and those who emit a purple light will be sorted into the College of Shadow. The mage calls for someone named Lloyd Edwards, who Ida identifies as the male lead. Lloyd touches the orb, which results in a bright golden light. The mage announces Lloyd to be in the College of Light. Everyone starts praising Lloyd for having such powerful magic, and Lloyd boasts that there won't be anyone in the Light group who is stronger than him. The mage suddenly calls Ida's name, and Ida begins to internally panic. She picks up the orb and nothing happens, leaving everyone else confused. Ida suddenly remembers what her maid Catherine had said, and she touches a tiny button she found at the bottom of the crystal ball. The ball suddenly begins to glow in a bright golden light, and the mage announces Ida to be in the College of Light. Jessica praises Ida for having such powerful magic, and is excited at the fact that they'll be in the same college together. Lloyd, however, is flabbergasted that someone has a more powerful magic than him. He tells Ida that she has caught his attention, much to her annoyance. Kaye is suspicious, since she can't sense any magical power emanating from her. She suddenly gets called up, and she touches the orb, and she realized that there was a tiny button hidden on the bottom. She decides not to expose her, as the orb suddenly starts to emit a purple light. The mage assigns her to the College of Shadow and tells her to put down the orb as it begins to glow super brightly. Kaye panics as she can't control her magic and the orb breaks. Ida suddenly jumps in front of Kaye, protecting her from the explosion created by the crystal ball. Ida asks Kaye if she's all right, and Kaye was about to thank her, but another student interjects, calling her the reincarnation of the Demon Lord. He said that his grandma told him that bad luck would follow them this year, and that the reincarnated demon would show up at a magical academy. Ida realizes that Kaye is the book's final boss, the Demon Lord Valerie, and she panics. She recalls what happened in the novel, in which the Demon Lord reawakens in the 7th year of the academy and goes berserk, and also kills the villainous Ida Mortimer. Ida gets scared at the fact that she'll be killed by Kaye in 7 years, and backs away from her. Kaye laughs, thinking that Ida is just like everyone else. The mage then tells everyone that the situation was just an accident, due to Kaye's magic being extremely powerful. She tells Kaye that she's in the College of Shadow, and to go join her cohort. Everyone else around her does not like her, thinking that she might really be the Demon Lord's reincarnation, and they all avoid her. Jessica tells Ida how awful Kaye is, since she didn't even thank Ida for protecting her. Ida, however, tells Jessica to not get on Kaye's bad side for their own safety. We flash forward in time, where the mage informing the headmaster about Kaye, saying that she could pose a serious threat, and that the prophecy might come true soon. However, the headmaster tells her that he senses a new power that could perhaps change the darkness inside of Kaye, and he tells the mage to not be hasty. Jessica shows Ida to her luxurious bedroom, which shocks Ida on how luxurious it is. Ida's maid Catherine tells her that the uniforms for the College of Light has arrived, and that the maids will help her change. Ida puts on her uniform, and she finds it to be quite pretty. Catherine tells Ida that she doesn't have any classes today since it's the first day, so she should just head over to the cafeteria for dinner. Ida and Jessica arrive at the cafeteria, and Ida is amazed at how good the food smells. However, Jessica tells Ida that they're in the commoners' cafeteria, and that they won't be having their meals here. So much for every student being treated as equals. Anyways, Ida spots Kaye in the area, and everyone around her avoids her, which she doesn't mind, since that means she won't have to wait in line anywhere, as she goes and orders a chicken sandwich. Jessica tells Ida that it's fortunate that the reincarnated Demon Lord is studying under the College of Shadow, and she calls her pitiful that the Demon Lord was reincarnated as a bum, and that all she can afford was a chicken sandwich. Ida, however, tells Jessica that Kaye won't bother them as long as they don't provoke her. However, she thinks to herself that even if the Demon Lord was unprovoked, she will still kill everyone close to the male lead in 7 years, and Ida is determined to figure out a resolution to this problem. Ida arrives at the noble cafeteria, and she thought to herself that she would have much preferred eating sandwiches and noodles in the main cafeteria. Everyone suddenly starts fawning over Lloyd's arrival, as they all motion him to sit at their table. Lloyd, however, goes over to Ida, kisses her hand, and asks if he can join her for dinner. Ida tells him that he can sit there, but to not kiss her since it's unsanitary. Ida tells Lloyd that all the girls would do anything to eat with him, so why does he not go sit with them? However, Lloyd reveals that Ida is his fiancée, much to everyone's shock. Ida makes a JoJo's face, and realizes that she forgot that she was supposed to be the male lead's villainous fiancée.